The
Everyone
party
passed
fought
out.
their way through to Trinity Church to have to deal with Katse and Croatoan's consort. We ended with, I said Graham and Mary were just arriving at the church to find Channing and Thomas were unconscious. Silverlock is somehow still standing after all that he's taken. And Rubido is lying on the floor after the essentially exploding the balcony that he was standing on.
You're probably seeing Silver like holding the staff in Rubido's hand, sort of grounding him out. So he's sort of.
In which case, roll passive defense.
Okay.
And now he's down.
Is the church like actively on fire?
The church is not, because it's made of stone.
Oh, good. That's good.
There's just this chunk of burning balcony that.
Oh, good. I was
Collapsed.
really worried we were about to set the city of New York on fire.
You
Okay,
did.
well,
We've already
Well,
done that.
Yeah.
And they're done that.
Remember when Graham shot that?
Oh, I remember.
barrel
I'm
of
just
gunpowder?
I'm making a snide remark.
Oh.
So, Silverlock, you do take 1 point of damage because remember the staff is supposed to channel the fire into the ground. If you're
Yeah.
holding it into his hand, it's channeling
Well,
solid
it's-
into you.
okay. Okay, so I'm at 8 lethal and 1 non-lethal. So
However,
yeah, only negative.
you do manage. Once he grabs it, you can let go, so you only suffer the 1
Yeah.
point of damage. We're not in turn order because the battle is essentially over. You guys are in the church, and there are no living bad guys in the church.
That's
Did they flee or did we actually destroy them?
They got away.
fled.
Oh, poop. Okay.
I believe I messaged before. Did I recognize Croton's consort?
You did.
Okay.
Yep,
What
you've seen her in enough visions that you recognize her by face, even if you don't know what her actual name is.
Okay, can I immediately make some medical rolls on these poor
Mhm.
passed out suffering people?
So I was going to say I'd let Mary do a magic on one, and Graham could do first aid on the other, since we have multiple.
Thought Graham was. Oh no, Graham was conscious. Okay.
I'm a
I'm
horse
probably
doctor.
the slowest, so whoever Graham would go to immediately is John. Wait, no. Sorry.
I'm assuming that Graham would rush to
Graham, yeah,
Thomas
Graham.
and Channing, who are the most wounded.
Well, whoever Adrian goes to first, I would be behind him, so I would go to the other person.
All right.
So
you've
Adrian.
got Thomas and Channing are both down with various wounds. Rubido is down. Silverlock is up, but looks like hell.
Yeah.
Um,
You're like, how in the hell is he still standing? That's.
So I'm assuming that Graham would go to the people who are down.
Yeah, I'm going towards because I can see clearly that Silverlock is not. He's conscious, right?
Yeah, I'm up. I'm sort of smoking and probably pretty well covered in blood and yeah.
Yeah.
But I am still up and
Covered
look like
in
I'm
blood.
ready to fight still.
Covered in
I-
blood and burns and rubble.
I come up and I pat your face, look in the eyes, say, "You doing good?"
Get Rubido first. I can wait for
I
a
think
second.
At this point, with combat over, the +2 is probably done, so it's just
It
a.
is.
Oh, there's a dog bonus though that I forgot.
Well,
to
no,
put in
you have
there.
you also have the
Oh, the
focus,
ley line bonus
the
too.
ley line.
So
Yeah. So that's probably yeah.
So I'm gonna run up to Dr. Channing, and as you're lying on the steps, I'm gonna kind of roll you over, make sure
Channing
your
recovers
airways
one
are
lethal.
your airways are clear. Like, are you conscious after that or no? Or are you
He's,
negative?
He's still at -1, so
It's like
you may want to.
yeah, I like shake you. Wake up, man! Wake up!
Yeah, you may want to magic him as well as first aid him.
how it wasn't over an hour ago, so I would okay.
Right. So it's just the penalty for someone having already
Yeah.
provided medical
Exactly,
aid to
which
him.
is a -2. So it's
So
at a +2.
So Mary's was to Rubido, I believe, right?
Yeah. So Rubido gets back up.
Oh, was that for Rubido?
He was. Yeah, he was. I sort of told you to take care of him first because he was pretty well out.
I'll be shouting for Mary, get over here.
So Channing recovers an additional 3, or I'm sorry, magic is a lifesaver, so Channing would be up to full now with the addition of the
Oh, sweet. Thank you.
magic.
Yeah, I'm trying to calm Rubido down, which I'm probably not the best.
He's actually doing okay now. The scene has passed, so the paranoid delusions flaw is gone.
Sorry, I missed all of that because my headphones died because evidently they weren't plugged in, Adrian.
That was not my fault.
All right.
Because you put in the USB drive and unplugged my headphones.
Okay, so I do need So right now it looks like Channing is up to full because of the first aid and then the magic. Thomas is still down. Now that Channing's up, you have another option for someone who can help him.
Sure.
Rubido is up, kind of. He's leaning on his staff, but he's up and doesn't seem to be suffering under the paranoid delusion flaw anymore.
Did somebody do medicine on Thomas?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, nobody's helped Thomas or myself.
I thought I had actually helped you, but
could I help?
Yeah,
Thomas.
Sure. Go for it.
Okay. Yeah. Is there any reason why I couldn't?
No, just step out of your way.
I would.
All right.
So remember, it's a +2 on your. Yeah.
All right. Thomas recovers 3 lethal, which is enough to make him conscious.
Sweet.
Silverlock, have you had any medicine done on you?
Not that I know of.
Okay. After I do that on Silverlock, I don't think, is anybody else in need of medical attention?
Me.
Thomas, aren't you supposed to not get caught?
So you did 8. Okay, that leaves me with just 1 non-lethal wound. So.
Oh, that's good. That was, wow, you were really needing that.
Oh,
well, I was only at -2. It's like
I did a medicine 3 on him, so he's got
okay.
3 to start with. Thomas.
Okay.
Yeah, he was at -2, so the 3 brought him up to
-1.
Well, it's a good thing somebody else did that medicine on you, because all I got for you is 2. Because I really want to go examine and see if there's any hairs over here, or any spots of DNA, or something.
You don't know what that is.
I don't know what that is, but
even Channing doesn't know what that is.
Yes, you're right. You're right.
I just figured out germs. That's quite an accomplishment.
You're right. You're right. That would be an accomplishment. I'm pretty sure. Should I roll for it to see if I know that if I have body parts, it helps me like find things? Do you want me to roll for that?
You can make an occult roll, sure.
Okay, we'll roll to see if I know that. Submit. It's a 4. I think I.
Yeah. If you had something of hers, be it a possession with particular value or like literally some part of her, you would have an easier time with the tracking.
Can I say, I'm gonna look for any parts of her hair or something left over. Okay. If you guys find anything, let me know, and I want to roll an investigation.
I was gonna say she was around the altar.
So I can help investigate, but how much have I healed from Mary's healing?
2 lethal.
Yeah, you would have recovered an additional 2 lethal.
Okay, thank you. I can help you investigate.
Okay. I want to go keep.
So guard, Mary, you can make an investigation with a +2 bonus.
How's your investigation? Do I need to make it?
Mine is.
I think you need to make it because
I need to make it. Okay.
You're really you're the one who did the occult and who knows what you're looking for.
Hey, that's not bad.
It is not.
Thank you for your assistance. It was probably his assistance that made me find it
so
too.
looking around the altar, you don't really find anything. However, Thomas finds the scrap of what appears to be her cloak kind of caught in the door from when she fled.
Sweet.
So, yeah.
Can I look outside and see if any more British redcoats or the Germans are coming?
Regulars or the Hessians.
If you look outside, all you can really see is that the
fire is spreading.
That whole part of the city is in flame. Like nobody's heading toward it.
Yay, we did it.
I'm gonna retreat back inside.
I asked Rubido, it's like, you have a talent with fire. Do you know of, can you control it or suppress it for fires that have started?
I didn't realize I could create it until recently.
Well, there's a fire here. Can you see if you can extinguish it? Or
he walks over and he kind of extends his hand toward the fire and focuses really hard, and nothing happens.
You're trying too hard. It's let it do it gently. Yeah, don't overthink it.
And and nothing happens.
Did you have a separate token for him that had flames? Or has his hand always had flames?
So I had a different token that I was going to use for Albedo in the final battle, and I contacted the artist and see if he could recolor it to make a Rubido version.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
You contacted the artist.
Yeah. I'm like, hey, I'm using this token. Could I get a recolor? And like, yeah, sure.
That's amazing.
Sweet. Okay.
You just zoom in.
That's pretty cool.
Mask off the hair and.
Did we figure out what was downstairs? Anybody?
No, we really haven't looked.
As soon as you say that, Rubido kind of makes off in a mad dash for the stairs.
Oh,
wait.
For his brother. Yeah.
Try to.
Well, I can never beat a mad dash. I'm slow. I feel like I tried to keep up and I'm panting.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like, and I probably could
Yeah.
stay with Rubido if not pass him.
Again, we're not in a turn order, so
yeah.
I will say that you guys arrive downstairs and the order that makes the most sense.
Yeah.
I'll be last.
And I take it the evilness that we felt before is gone since the concert's gone.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good point.
You see Rubido trying to force the lid off like a stone, like one of the big stone coffins.
I just
like, so there's like a bunch of coffins in there for like deceased people.
I think it's like
sarcophagus or
sarcophagus. Okay. Do you know if he's in there for sure?
Yes, I have a link with my brother.
I will give him a hand.
Is he able to open it?
I will help you and try to push off the lid.
Also, since they happen to be sitting here in the GM lair, here's the Albedo token that I found in one of the token sets that I had kind of recolored and had the sword swapped out for a gun to make the Rubido token.
Oh.
Stat point.
No, that is really cool.
Stat point for the GM.
No, don't give it.
Yeah, I was like, please don't use it against us. Please only use it for the cool.
So I'm just showing you guys again. We don't have to be on the map because I'm just kind of showing you.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
I do want to help him though, kind of realizing like his brother is supposedly in there.
Go ahead and make a strength check, and you can take a +2 bonus because you have assistance.
Okay.
This looks bizarrely familiar. Like,
is this straight strength primary or is this an?
This was a church basement in the previous battle.
What gave it away was this crack over here.
Yeah.
Where the zombies, vampires came in from before. Yeah.
Up here.
That wasn't a trap at all.
You guys managed to push the lid off. Negredo is in there, bound. His feet are bound together, his hands are bound in front of him, and he's gagged. Rubido pulls out a knife and begins just cutting away at the bindings.
I'm gonna take a step back, kind of recollect my musket, and just kind of watch.
As soon as Negredo's arms are free, he, gives his brother a hug, and Rubido helps him out of the coffin. And I feel I should thank all of you for coming to my rescue, but perhaps we could talk upstairs. I've had enough of this crypt.
Upstairs is on fire.
A lot more than just upstairs is on fire, but let's make our way there anyways.
At this point, I'll let two of you make an empathy check.
I'll do one.
I'll do the other. Well, am I any good? I'm okay at empathy.
I have a 5 at empathy.
Let's have you do the
Oh,
empathy.
I have
Okay.
a 4.
Going to roll empathy.
Mine's a 4 as well.
Don't ask me.
And of course I suck, so.
Oh my goodness.
Thomas, you managed to catch a look when, he gives Rubido a look when you mentioned the city being on fire.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, it's subtle, but he gives his brother a look when you mention the city being on fire. As you guys come up out of the crypt, Negredo slumps down in one of these pews.
Pew, pew.
I'm gonna be in the vicinity. Like Graham, everybody else would probably get the sense that Graham doesn't really want to leave them alone, but he's not like thinking they're like the absolute enemy right now.
Okay. And again, we don't have to know exactly where we are because this isn't a combat. I just have the map so you guys have a reference.
Do you know what was did you defeat that the cats?
So, yeah. What Graham said.
Unfortunately, he lives to fight another day.
He did?
We didn't kill him, did we?
No.
He got away, right?
I think Silverlock is the only one who has an answer to that question.
Yeah, he got away. It's like I tackled him over the balcony, but
I take it.
when Rubido was about ready to explode, I thought controlling him was a little bit more important than. Plus, I was basically alone here.
Controlling him? You mean you found a way to keep his fire at bay?
Well, something to assist. It's how were you captured? Was it the cats or the lady got you?
It was the Hessian, but he wasn't alone. There were some creatures with him.
Were they wolf-like?
No, they were like living shadows.
Yeah, the bitch is to blame for both. Yeah.
Did I see any living shadows in this? I'm trying to
There were
think.
some in
No.
the first
You
New York battle.
saw when you were in the encounter with Tituba, she summoned a shade. You didn't see them today, but you've seen them in the past, and Silverlock saw them.
Yeah.
in
Which I said,
shade.
yeah, the bitch is responsible for both. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I find this very concerning because that was Croton's consort.
Oh, wonderful.
And she's working with the Haitians.
Well,
Why would she be involved with a bunch of mercenaries?
She wants blood to be shed. She wants Croatoan to come back.
Okay.
I told you
And
months ago.
And certainly trying to trigger my brother's firepower would, if he lost control, it could provide the exact destruction, that carnage that you told us she was after.
Fortunately, the only fire that she got out of him was this little one that, you know, I think somebody else is responsible for the fire outside.
Can I roll academics occult to see if a fire made out of natural causes that isn't like some sort of dedication, if that would do anything towards summoning him, or like does
Sure.
it like does it specifically have to be
In the past, the sacrifices that they've used to empower Croatoan, you know that the Roanoke colony was the first. Salem was the second. And it really does seem like they were trying for a third with this fire. You don't know if, I mean, you're pretty convinced that not just any mass casualty event would work because it's a war.
Yeah.
Like there have been numerous battles that don't seem to have, but yeah.
Yeah, I tell everyone, excuse me, but I think there's something probably more important for me to do than standing around and talk while the city is starting to burn. I go upstairs to the bell tower and will use my summon or control weather ritual
Okay.
to get it so that it starts raining. It's like, and I can be out of the scene for the rest of the. But I think that's something that, since we don't want the city to burn.
No, we don't.
No.
Sounds good.
And I might be able to.
Honestly, if I had that, I would be doing the exact same thing, but I literally have nothing that would, like, I can do elemental protection, but it's like
I'd have to find a bucket and water.
And go, gunpowder buildings, not a good.
Yeah.
Why do I keep
so
seeing
figure
you
out what kinds of
taking care of
bonuses,
random
penalties,
mistakes?
etc. you'd have for that.
Yeah.
And then make your roll.
Yeah, because I'd have. Yeah, it's a ritual, so it's going to take a while to do it. But
Okay.
yeah, it's because.
Then I'll just say that.
That's why I'm saying if you want to save the rest of
time
the
you need, you'll get it eventually.
Of
Well,
course, there's major flooding after the storm fire, but
my token seems unusually small.
It might be.
You just are, Mary.
The maps are sometimes different scale, so I kind of try to resize everything. I'm not saying it's perfect every time.
Wait.
I'm a giant.
Yeah. Oh, well, we are. When you have a body of 3, you're
like that's me compared to you. I'm so tiny.
I'd like to try to ascertain why Katsa and
I'll work on resizing your tokens in a minute, but
it's not a big deal. It's probably accurate to how big I am compared to them, especially with how fast I go.
So, is it knowledge? I can't remember if we already know why John D hired Katsa and the other sharpshooters to go after Rubido. Is it because he was worried about him becoming the consort's minion also? Do we know that, or is there still a question mark?
You have suspicions, but if you have questions about John D, there's
And I was gonna say months ago I mentioned that if somebody wants to cause an all-out brawl between 2 parties, they usually get a third party to cause friction between them.
Well,
So that's the Hessians, you mean?
Yeah,
Is that what you mean?
that's what I mean.
I,
Not
I,
that there's not enough friction already, but
Does
uh,
Graham raise this question out loud?
yeah, that I wanted to check to see if we knew that already, but if we don't know for certain, I would bring it up that Rubido and your brother, do you know why the sharpshooter was supposed to take you out specifically?
Father made the bullets, the philosopher's bullets, as a last resort.
So you
Who's
knew
saying
about
this?
them.
Who's saying this?
Negredo.
Okay.
I was the first. So I remember when Rubido was created. Father was afraid he couldn't control the fire, so he suppressed it. When the fire got unleashed, he panicked and thought that this might be the only way to stop Rubido from destroying everything.
Do you think that he's going to call off things now that you're proven control? And I'll look over at Rubido.
I think, well, Father is leaving the city. He's probably already gone. I would like to think that he would abandon his plan, but I
His
can't be
plan.
certain.
Well, you seem to be in a predicament then. Will these bullets with the stone, will it affect you the same way it will Rubido?
Myself, Albedo, anything made from the Philosopher's Stone, these bullets are the only sure way to destroy us. And I may not be in a position to do so, but I would ask a favor.
I was about to ask you what your plans were, perhaps. They are going
I'm
hand in hand.
going to rejoin my father, but I would like Rubido to remain with you.
Do either
I
of you
will-
know what happened to Albedo?
Why would you go back to your father?
Because if I tell him Rubido is dead, he'll believe me.
Question: what if we faked your deaths, both of yours?
I can't do that. If I tell Father Rubido is dead, he'll believe it, and I can't abandon him despite his.
Well, that's the thing. If you fake both your deaths, if you make it believable, you're
I
both.
mean, I can't abandon my father any more than I could abandon my brother.
He was trying to kill you.
He was misguided.
He's 150 years old.
More than that. Well, I believe
I
more
don't.
than that.
I think your heart's in the right place, but I think your brain's telling you the wrong thing here.
What I would ask of you is to take Rubido with you. To continue to help him control his power.
Is Rubido? This is Aaron asking. Is Rubido still currently conscious, or is he unconscious?
He's there, but he's being quiet. Like this is like he almost seems like a little kid right now.
Is he going to want? I turn to Rubido and I say, "Do you want to come with us? Do you want this?"
If my brother thinks that's the best idea, I trust him. Also, I'm not ready to forgive Albedo. If I
No.
go with you, I imagine I'll cross paths with him again.
That was my next question is, do you know where Albedo is? You think he's with your father?
Mm. We don't have the same connection to him that we have to each other.
I'm very curious about that, by the way.
But given that
So the bullets were made for Rubido.
perhaps they were made for all of us.
Well, he did make more than one, so.
I'll admit to you, when you came asking us for a truce, I argued against it. I thought it would be silly to give up our magic and our alchemy, anything that could aid us in bringing this war to an end, but
Did you meet the lady?
your Virginia, no, I never have.
Not that lady, sorry.
He's met the spirits that she controlled.
We're talking about Croton's consort.
He indicates that he hasn't,
Okay.
and that he doesn't necessarily know who you're talking about. He was locked in a coffin.
Yeah.
But I haven't met your lady, and considering that her teachings warped Albedo to the point where he tried to murder me, I'm not sure I trust her.
It wasn't her
And
teachings.
I'll be honest, I don't trust your General Washington or Dr. Franklin either.
There's even some of those among us.
But I trust you. I trust you would be genuine, that you would not attempt to use Rubido as a weapon against the crown. And that's why I'm asking you to take him, to keep him safe, and to help him control his power. Let him live his life on his terms.
I think putting him into hiding would be a good idea. I think his hair stands out a little, though. We may have to change that.
Well, it's not like you'd be the only person wandering around with a powdered wig on, so he'd probably look too much like Albedo then. Anyway, as I said, I'll go to my father. I'll convince him that Rubido is dead. That'll at least pull his hunters away from you.
What about the consort?
Okay.
Is she going to be after you both?
Why would she?
My power is any kind of gestures in hand. He kind of levitates a Bible from the
Graham.
altar over.
Visible reaction from Graham. He's like,
my power isn't particularly useful to someone trying to destroy cities.
Rubido would be the obvious choice, which did make me confused why she was going after Albedo. However, I don't think she was just going after him by himself. I think she was trying to manipulate him to therefore manipulate you.
And Negredo, at the talk of Albedo, kind of awkwardly fidgets with his collar, and you can still see the cut across his neck where Albedo tried to murder him. Yes, I know.
can you lift other heavier things? Can you move stone?
I'm very visibly like,
If it takes concentration, but I could move something as large as a person if I. And
I take
at
it
least
you need your.
at least one of you in the past has been moved by Negredo's power. He moved you out of the way in one of the early battles.
Now I'm trying to remember which one of us that was.
Well, he like slammed Silverlock.
Oh
in
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember anything else
You
besides
threw
that, though.
Silverlock into a wall and knocked him out in one of the early battles.
Yeah, I thought she used like, never mind. I thought he used something else.
Nope.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought I was. Yeah, that it was not forced that he was physically, with the harm spell, but
Yeah.
He either did that or he whacked you with some object, but he doesn't have the harm spell, so it was his telekinesis.
Yeah. Right, that was him.
I think you told me it was lethal damage, but that's okay. It doesn't matter.
I
It's-
remember it
it's-
as being lethal damage as well.
That might have been GM error. I
Yeah.
might have assumed if
Yeah.
you whack someone hard enough with a piece of stone, it's lethal.
Well-
Yeah. It's water under the bridge.
I hit the ground pretty far and it was just skin damage, so,
Well, live and learn.
yeah.
I come down the stairs, a little damp. It's like, I think the fire is probably going to be under control now.
And you guys hear the storm finally start to subside. Hopefully you enjoyed the nice rain graphic while it was up.
Yeah, I saw it.
Oh, I totally missed it.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, why do you think I
Man,
put the ready it's pouring?
Yeah.
I was zoomed in.
I was
If you look
too.
out to the destroyed section of the city, there was a bunch of rain.
Yeah.
animation.
Oh man, there is legit fire damage.
Yeah.
There's holes in roofs. How did you get this?
That's pretty cool.
Because
All
this
of the
particular
carts are
map had a
destroyed as well.
destroyed and non-destroyed variant.
Oh, I see where it's split.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the church district does not have a destroyed variant, so
Sadness. It's because it's surrounded by holy power, and yeah, you can't destroy a church. It's blasphemy.
yeah. So there's little bits of fire that are still there, but with everything dampened by the rain, it's
Will you be headed to London now? I ask, Negrito.
Father isn't going back to Britain. He's heading north.
North to
I
Quebec.
see.
New Scotland.
I see.
What did you have any idea what his plans might be from there on?
To be honest, he's probably still going to keep assisting the crown in their war. Though without Rubido or Albedo or the Philosopher's Stone, his ability to do so is diminished.
Might I ask, who was the one who brought in the Haitians?
That wasn't Father's doing. They were mercenaries brought in by, I'm assuming, the generals or maybe even King George.
Somebody bought by money can easily be bribed by money. She could have done that just as easily. Though it doesn't make life any easier for us. I think for now, trying to find the cat. Oh, that would have been good, is to try to find some sort. Well, at this point, it got blown up. Never mind. I was like trying to find some sort of like DNA. I'm saying DNA, but
Yeah.
from him would have been great.
You can make an investigation check if you'd like.
In the bell tower.
I'll do that before we leave. Can I make the roll now?
Yes.
Okay. Do I get the +2?
Jeff, do you have investigation?
I do.
I don't.
I have investigation of 6.
Yeah,
Okay.
go for it.
I think trying to find the cat and Croton's consort would be the best things to do. Oh, I rolled with the +2. Oh, cool. Separate investigation.
Okay.
3.
Yeah. So as you guys are talking about this, and kind of poking around, Silverlock remembers the rifle that was sitting up in the bell tower.
Probably saw it.
Yeah. He went up in the bell tower, the rifle was there, because remember when he came down on the rope, he was just using a pistol to threaten Rubido. So, and I would say a sniper's rifle is probably something that's sufficiently connected to him that it could be used to track him.
Okay.
I want it once it's done with the spells.
I think going after the cat would be the best solution. I take it you guys have no qualms about.
No, even with all of this magical business out of the way, at the end of the day, the Hessians are the enemy in our war. And
Well,
whether he's going after Rubido and kind of acknowledge that he's right there, but I'm just still talking about him.
Oh, can we check in the gun to see if
you-
it has the ammo? Sorry.
Yeah. If
It is loaded with a philosopher's bullet. So apparently his next shot, had he taken it, would have been trying to take out Rubido.
So we have 3 of those things now, or 2?
2
Well,
now.
Rubido was shot
Two.
by
Rubido
the
was
sniper.
shot.
I don't know if it was.
You
I think
guys
he was
were shot, but he wouldn't have. You guys were not shot with the philosopher's bullet. He
was trying
shot
to-
someone and then was reloading.
Yeah, he wanted to wound him so that he would be an easier target for the final. I would assume.
No. Guess if you're a really good shot
Or,
that way.
and at least some of you might have this theory, he wanted to wound his friends and see if he could set him off, because it's kind of what the consort wanted, was the fire.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she didn't want him dead, she wanted him.
We sure showed her.
Alright. Well,
Well-
I think the fire's out now. I suggest we all take our leave from this place before the army comes back and starts surveying the damage.
If you run into Albedo, I'm fairly certain that Croatoan has done something to his mind at this point.
I'm fairly certain that Albedo's mind was gone when he decided to try and kill me.
Can I just say that the lady would not have wanted that? And so I must apologize on behalf of her at the very least.
He nods and, gives his brother a one last, bro hug, and then begins heading out.
I'm gonna pick up the musket from the sniper from the Katsa, and it's still loaded, right? Or did we unload it to find that out?
I don't know how to do that.
You would have to unload it.
You would have had to unload it to find it out. You're not going to peer into the barrel of a loaded gun,
Yeah, so
and it would be too dark to see anything if you did. You're certainly not going to drop a match down there to. light things.
That's
Like
Graham's
funny
like,
cartoon.
See, I want to see you do that.
sorry.
Yeah, you would have had to unload that to find out there was a philosopher's bullet.
okay. Is there anything special about the any engravings or anything that of noteworthy on the musket?
This is actually a rifle, so it actually has the rifled barrel. It existed at the time, but it was not common. It takes a different size musket ball because of that.
Is it spiraled?
Yeah, rifled. Yeah.
Ah, nice. That's what. Okay, got it.
It's still like a musket. It's still, loaded the same way, but
Mhm.
yeah, this is so in America it was known as a Pennsylvania rifle. In Europe it was known as a Jaeger rifle. It was something brought over from Germany where it was invented.
So effectively, the range is more.
Longer range, and it does 4 lethal instead of 3 lethal.
Definitely something that Graham would want.
Yeah, there's no leftover satchels or bags or anything with ammo.
No, but musket balls don't take that much skill to make. You could easily
Oh.
find someone who could.
You could buy it.
And again,
Patriot
it's a
on us.
Pennsylvania rifle. If you go back to Philadelphia, there's probably someone there who has experience with them.
I just need to find my son's little chess set back home. Then I'll melt them into little balls.
Oh,
The downside is
I was totally thinking that.
it's not particularly capable. You couldn't use the rifle butt as a melee weapon because it was much more delicate.
That's fine. I'm not worried about.
He's not John.
The big club, right?
I am. No, so Rubido's going with us, right?
Yeah.
Is
Before Negrito leaves, I would ask him if he has any information on the Haitians and where he thinks the cat would hang out. Any leads that he would have.
My only experience with the Hessian was when he broke into my home, knocked me unconscious, and took me prisoner.
Got it.
We
We will not.
We didn't converse.
Well, then we won't be having any publications about. We should probably dye your hair.
Yeah.
I see it looking at Rubido.
Yeah.
Hair dye is a thing in this time, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, people color their hair with various substances or wore wigs, and yeah, there are options.
I was going to say, dyeing it black is very easy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mud.
Well, that's brown, but yeah.
That's
yeah.
brown, yeah. There's certain plants. that
Carbon,
use-
yeah. Carbon
yeah.
black
Mm.
is, yeah. Your soot from your lamp, yeah. It's, yeah.
I don't think. Does anybody else have any questions for Negrito before he goes on this long journey?
As he's about to head out the door any
As he's
last
about to
minute.
head- Any last minute?
Do you feel safe going by yourself? It's like you've been kidnapped once.
So, how do we get in touch with you, and how do we know that you're alive when you do this fool's errand of yours?
I
You
point-
won't. You won't. It's probably best that we don't contact each other. We will be on opposite sides of this war.
Do you fully intend to fight against the Union? Or not the
Is
Union?
there- is-
It's a different war.
I intend to stay by my father's side and assist him however I may. I
How-
can only assume that will put me at odds with your army.
What if he blames you?
Do you
This
guys?
way that-
I know you see him as some kind of scoundrel, villain, perhaps even a monster, but he isn't.
I feel compelled, and I'm going to lift my musket at him to take you under arrest if you plan to fight in this war against us.
He kind of locks eyes with you. Let's call this a prisoner exchange. Your people, my people, we all go our own way. There's no need for this to become violent. You notice his hand is
Graham,
I look at Graham. It's like we just saved him. It's like
we're
Hey-
doing our best to have, everybody not die in flames.
Yeah.
As a side note, is there a distance for your brain?
normally
connection?
yes. If with effort we can connect with people. As far as the direct link between us,
I'm gonna.
I'm not sure. We've never been so far apart that it became an issue.
I'm
Where we
gonna.
couldn't, at least with effort, communicate with one another.
Can I ask one favor of you?
Go on.
If you come across any more Philosopher's Stone artifacts, can you get them to us?
I can't make that promise. As I said, it's best we have no contact after this. As far as the world will know, my brother is dead, and I've returned to my father's side.
To fight against us.
And your brother, who is still alive.
Which probably will not fight against him.
As I said, I'm trusting that you won't use him as a weapon against the crown. I trust that you believe everything you told me about not wanting to use his power for that kind of destruction.
Rubido seems like a kind of a free spirit. I feel like he'll do whatever he wants to do, regardless of us telling him, asking him to or not. I look over at
Entirely
him.
possible. know.
That's completely true.
He trusts you not to weaponize his brother.
He'll weaponize himself. So
Yeah.
Well,
It's possible if he
then we're
Speaking
Then again,
speaking of
responsibility,
Rubido,
I think.
Then again, you guys have no reason to think that Rubido is suddenly going to adopt revolutionary ideals.
Oh, he's not. No.
How is Rubido
Which is why I
reacting
was
to the fact
asking
I'm
about
pointing
the-
a musket at his brother?
Not well. Like, you might want
No.
to stop that because
Yeah, his
Yeah, I'd
might
probably
not
get
want him to
between
lose
them once they
control of his
cut.
emotions. And
Yeah,
his stick might be
I'll
starting to
I'll
sin.
lower it as Silverlock is approaching. I was like, are
His-
we really going to let him just go back to the enemy and
oh
fight?
yeah, had Grant
Was
taken
it-
a shot, he probably would have gotten a full fire blast right in the.
Was
right
it
in the
the sniper rifle that you were just pointing at him?
No, it's mine,
Oh, okay.
which is also loaded with one.
thing. All right. So at this point, Negredo just leaves, and
Graham's like,
Yeah.
I cannot believe this.
you guys are left to your own devices.
Aaron is saying that I think it's hilarious that he has this whole elaborate plan of how this is going to be great until his father finds out inevitably that Rubido's still effing alive.
Yeah. It's
Because Rubido's not going to be like, oh, here comes father. I have to go hide. No. Hey, Dad.
yeah. Well, John D's going north. Presumably, you guys are going to take Rubido south. Maybe they won't meet. Maybe they won't meet again in this life.
Yeah, that's definitely what's going to happen.
It's possible.
Well, Rubido, what would you like to do?
I want a hamburger.
I want to go to Disney.
I'll stay with you. My brother thinks that's best, and I trust him. But I am going to want a shot at Albedo eventually.
I'm gonna
Well-
toss him Katz's musket. It's empty though.
We can use that to track Katsa, potentially, to at least a certain extent.
Okay, I'll go take the musket back and give it to Mary. How do you plan to track him with
Toss him the
this?
gun, and right before he's about to incinerate the weapon of his enemy,
Oh, is his hand
You're like-
literally on fire right now?
could be if he wanted it to.
Okay, then yeah, I will remove it.
Yes. Well, we can go after Katsa to a certain maybe. I'd have to make a few contacts, narrow down a working space. Oh, it's gonna be a pain.
Yeah, it's like
We
I'm just wondering where we can put Rubido that would keep him safe because I'm afraid that that our
You guys are
higher up
basically
will want to
founding your own
weaponize
version
him.
of Xavier's Academy. You're just going to stick him on the farm with Legion.
Well, it's like
That was actually a thought that I was having.
yeah, it's like, well, you know,
I don't
Okay.
see
I-
Rubido being contained.
So we need
No,
to get
he's
like
not.
2 more, and then next season we all have our characters.
Yeah.
Next season, we'll use the Supers rules because apparently you guys are just converting all the monsters.
Oh man.
Your flaw would be sometimes you can't contain it.
I can't speak very well.
Yeah, you cannot.
What's the daughter or the sister? Too nice for her own good or something?
She
Gullible?
doesn't have a superpower. Oh, I guess her
Naive.
superpower would be like contain giant.
All her
well-
skill points into diplomacy.
Albedo has gone
Guys are
south.
you guys are going to find like 3 more monsters. It's like, okay.
a werewolf, a vampire.
The headless horseman resurrects. But we gave him a good heart.
I do have a piece of the
Franklin's
philosophy.
Academy for gifted monsters.
Can we please do that? Oh, that's
Oh
so
my God.
funny.
I do have the rules for a different Revolution game that is Supers, so maybe someday. It plays a lot differently because it's like full on like comic book superpowers in the Revolution.
Oh my
Man,
goodness.
that'd be wild.
Instead of a ride, Paul Revere did it on foot because he's a speedster.
Oh, God.
It's,
Oh, Franklin's Academy. And out there's definitely some sort of organization that wants them to close. Something like Silverlock related.
Yes. But
Graham's gonna go outside and just.
it's damp. Like
Oh, that's funny.
the rain has ended. The city is. I mean, you can see the damage, but
Mhm.
And outside for a smoke, huh?
I'm trying to think of where we can go outside of York that's not like ridiculous. Would we need a boat to get back to? Perfect, thank you.
well, Washington's people haven't completely abandoned New York yet,
Mm-hmm.
so you could rendezvous with them, and I'm sure
Mm-hmm.
you know. Like if you wanted to leave Manhattan, and that's an option.
I think
Washington would definitely help you do that.
So I think that's got to be our first point, unless we can actively go on a hunt for Katsa, which I guess when I come back in, I don't know. Are you doing like your seance or?
I can speak with spirits, though I think there's actually a separate specific spell for like locate. Is that a separate thing?
I
Like
believe so.
scry or
Yeah. I mean, was that one of the spells in the diary that I took notes of?
It could be, but you need to get back to the grimoire to.
can I hike down the street and see if any of those dead soldiers left any stuff that I can take in terms of powder horns and musket balls?
Those dead soldiers were then caught in the burning of the entire district. Gunpowder is flammable? No.
Okay.
That was kind of an obvious answer. Though,
They were in the middle of the street.
though, depending on the container it was in, most of them, I mean, some of them were metal lined, I believe.
So shrapnel explosions.
Yeah. Do we see any?
Yeah, like those soldiers, there's not much left of them
That's fair.
at this point.
It's been rinsed away.
We see sewer rats running around with fingers. Anyway.
I don't know about you people, but I'm hungry.
Shawarma.
Wow.
If I'm gonna do magic stuff, here's the place to do it. Anybody think of some good questions for me to ask the spirits to try to locate the cat or the Croatoan's consort?
Remember, those have to be yes or no questions for that.
Have
for
to be
Augury
yes
to
or no.
work.
No, have to be yes or no questions.
Is Katza still hunting Rubido?
Good question. If I stitch with like her piece of cloth, if I use that as the medium, would that make it more effective?
I might give you a bonus if the questions are directly about her.
Okay.
I can tell you the answer is yes, because until he knows that he's dead, he
Well, if he's just a mercenary, there were two other. Was it Hessians or were they just general?
So you know that Katza had 2 bullets. 2 more were in the hands of not the Hessians, but 2 members of Robert's Rangers.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Oh, I would have probably informed Negredo about that.
He already knows.
Cool.
yeah, he was there when his dad handed him out.
Yeah,
My question would be, is Katsa, she's the person, wait a second.
The assassin.
Katsa's the assassin.
Mhm.
What is the consort's name again? We had her
You
name.
don't know.
That's Shua.
We don't know. Okay.
I don't think you ever formally learned it.
Mm,
Oh, that's true. I just saw it on the.
yeah.
Your characters
Dice
don't
rolls.
know it, and I just
Yeah.
didn't feel like changing it to question marks on the
Okay.
roller.
Suda?
Shua. That's Shua.
I don't remember. Yeah.
So my question should be, is the lady who owned this piece of cloth still going after that man, Rubido?
Okay.
I have a +2 for the dog, and I have a +2 for ley lines.
I'll give you an additional +1 for the cloth being connected to her.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Well, good news, Rubido. It doesn't seem like she's going after you anymore.
Who's she after then?
Well, that's not a yes or no question.
Yeah, I know, but
Is she after Washington? Was she there, or was it just the British
she
thing?
was here.
No, I mean the episode where I was sleeping. You fought the British and helped Washington get away.
No, she wasn't there.
Was it just
Yeah.
the British?
It was
Yeah.
just the British.
That battle was just it was just the
Okay.
soldiers. There was nothing supernatural until Silverlock mind controlled a bull.
Boule, boule.
Did we miss this?
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was the episode
Yeah.
we missed.
That's the one where you guys were on your trip.
Vacation. Skiing.
That sounds like it would have been funny.
There were a lot of bull puns.
It's
Many puns.
probably
Yeah,
a load of
looked
bull.
pretty good.
Bull-headed.
Yeah. I
Um,
try to
We have
steer
steered this in another
Aaron
direction.
away from them, but
Well, a steer is a completely different animal.
so the
Yeah,
answer was no to hunt
It
for
used to be a
Katza.
bull.
For Katza
It's
hunting
easy.
Rubido, that was a no,
you,
and
you didn't
then
ask
That was
about
a no.
Katza, you asked about the consort.
oh,
Yeah.
I was gonna say
Is the owner? I'm sorry.
You can use the names. The spirits
Is-
can
Is Katza?
Yeah.
I'm saying it correctly when I'm
Sure.
saying this. Cool. Thank you. Still going after Rubido, and I have the
-2 because it's the
gun,
second question.
so
And then
it will
minus
be.
actually so -2 and you don't get the +1 from the cloth because
I have
but
the
he
gun.
has the rifle.
okay. Doesn't work that way, but
Okay. 2. Fine.
so you can still have your dog and leyline bonus, but
Oh, I didn't do leyline bonus. Well, that was the -2, I think,
yeah,
because
Like
it's the
the-
second question.
leyline bonus would have canceled it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't do that.
No.
Well, they're neither one of them are going after you. And
ask a question about the third brother, Albedo. Ask if
What's that?
he's being a bastard.
Yes.
well,
Phrasing.
he doesn't have a mother.
Is he coming to? Is he trying to put whatever the spirit Croatoan? Is he in league with that demon?
I'm not entirely sure it's a good idea to ask the spirits about Croatoan.
Well, you know best. I actually trust you on that one.
And I'm fairly certain he already has. I think Virginia Deer would be a good person to ask about that, because it was on the island where it would happen. Are you able to contact her and see if he's been there?
Out of character, are they spirits like in your knitting pattern, or are they visible to us as like ghosts, or?
You can't see them when she's using augury. It's just kind of guiding her hand, like she's almost in a trance state.
It's
and
like a
then-
Ouija board.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think that would freak Grandma a lot less, so I'm still in character. Okay. Everything
you're
is
good.
Yeah, so you're
happened-
not really
yeah.
even noticing
No, I'm
Exactly.
just
what
going.
the answer is. Like she's
Yeah. She's just talking to herself and stitching a pattern into some cloth. It's weird, but not as weird as if
Mhm.
you could see the spirits.
Yeah, that would be a very
so
different
if she
Graham.
completes The stitch is yes. If she misses a stitch, it's no. You know. It's,
Mhm.
I have no more questions to ask, so I could just ask if he's being, are you able to contact Virginia?
who are you asking? Spirits or me or what?
You.
Oh,
Ask them about John D.
No. Ask him if Albedo's been there and if the dark smoke was Croatoan connecting to him and who he's talking about when he says he'll make them understand. And
I don't know if we saw that in character.
Yeah, this was just your vision. You're the only one who knows what you're talking about right now.
well, it doesn't matter if they know what I'm talking about. It's
No.
just, well, actually, John, you do a very poor job of conveying messages.
well, I tells them as I see them, Miss. You know.
And remember, you do still have your vision spell. You might be able to.
Okay,
get
let's
something
do
from-
that. That's actually a really good thing to do when I'm on a ley line.
Yeah, so you
Cool.
get a plus. So you get +2 from the dog. Plus the +2 from the dog, I think, is built in, isn't it?
No, I took it out because I was doing
Okay.
some stuff where I didn't have the dog with me.
Okay.
So it's 4 plus
Yeah.
6 to make a 10, and then I add the 2 if I have my
Yeah.
dog
You
nearby.
get the dog bonus and the ley line bonus.
Sweet.
Yeah, because you still have it as the text that you have the +2 bonus.
So you go into your kind of trance. You're staring into the water, and you see the visions. The first thing you see is a Roanoke, the black smoke kind of on the periphery. You see Albedo standing there. He looks much like he did in the last vision, except instead of kind of being despondent and talk about how no one understands him, he's now like full on Joker laughing. And he's holding his hand up, and his hand is almost kind of glowing. The smoke envelops him. You see a field of corpses. Not a field, but like a village where it just looks like someone has walked through and killed everyone. As your vision settles on each corpse, there is basically an open wound in the shape of a handprint on them. Like somebody just touched them and a wound opened where they touched. Some of them also appear to have blade-related wounds on them, but
Vampire?
No, where
Albedo,
is
glowing
do
hand.
do I recognize where this is at? And are the people who are dead in uniform?
nope, they are not. They are not soldiers. Someone just massacred a village of normal people. Could be any village. The next thing you see a house. Make an intelligence check.
Straight up intelligence?
Yep.
3.
As you're kind of zooming in on the house, you think this is in Boston. You kind of go into the house, and you feel more than see a presence of some kind, something unearthly. Your final vision is of Croatoan's consort. Albedo standing to one side of her, Katsa to the other. A swirling mass of shadow in front of them. Something. At first, you're not sure what it is, and it almost seems to shift between being an arm and being a tentacle. It reaches out of the mass of shadow and braces itself on the ground as if something's pulling itself out of the mass of shadows.
Cthulhu.
And power armor.
No power armor, just tentacles, which is bad enough.
Again, at first it looks like a tentacle, and then it looks more like it's just a regular arm, and then tentacle again. So you're not sure. It's almost like the thing doesn't have a
Phasing in
set
and out.
form. And then the vision from that pans up. You see the snow on the trees as it pans up. You see the clear night sky. Whatever's happening
Is in the
in
future.
this vision is seems to be set for the winter.
Well, quick question. The
Mhm.
presence not of Earth in a house in Boston. Do I get bad vibes from it or good vibes from it?
You don't.
Unworldly.
You would. How should I put this? It
Neutral
doesn't
vibes?
feel foul. Like it doesn't give you the sense of unease that like encountering anything Croatoan related in a vision usually does.
It's also not a bird goddess. Got it. You said it wasn't foul.
Yes, I got it. I'm pretending I didn't.
The other question I had. Oh no, they are civilians. His hand glowing from the first vision. Is there a particular color it glows?
It glows like a greenish white. It almost appears like the hand itself is you can almost see the bone through the glow, like
Necrotic
yes.
ish. Well,
Swamp
your
gas.
brother is very gone, and I highly recommend that whatever bullets we find are used on him. And he's planning to massacre a city of villagers, a town, a field. His healing isn't healing anymore. It's the opposite of that.
Plus, he's telling your father that you're dead.
Not you, Albedo.
Perhaps
Yeah,
we should.
Too many beaters.
There's a house in Boston, and there's something there that isn't regular, isn't normal.
So are we to go to Boston?
Also, Katsa is working with Croton's consort, and I don't know about the rest of the Haitians, but
And
best-
you guys did know that Katsa, he came with the Hessians. He's German like them, but he's not like an official part of their
okay, we
unit.
did know that.
He's a freelancer. You do know that.
Well,
Conscientious. We don't need this scum.
yeah. Also, something bad might happen in winter. It's coming. Anyways.
Trying to say winter is coming.
Yes, that's
No, there's something bad happening in winter. It's coming. This is my own my own line.
sooner or later the stocks are always right. Winter is coming.
I think we should go after Rubido, Albedo.
He's in the south. He's gone mad. I also think that it's best to go that way. I don't know what town it was. Did I get any town glimpses from the field? Because I mean,
Again, you saw the town. It could be any town.
you said a field of
Springfield.
corpses.
Well, I said a field, but then I corrected it. It's actually like the town square full of corpses.
Okay. Okay. I said I was writing according to my memory. It's
Yeah.
actually rather impressive how much I get out of this before I have to ask questions.
Sure.
There we go. Well, I think heading south is the best solution because that's where we know where Albedo is, and I think, well,
It's not necessarily your visions have came true yet, correct?
the town of corpses hasn't, but he's definitely gone insane by this point. It was a while ago when I saw him yelling at the sky, angry. And since then, I think at this point, he's gone. Cuckoo. He's gone cuckoo. Yes.
Which of course makes me worried about what may have happened to Virginia. So I was like, I'm like,
You can contact her pretty quickly, though.
I don't think.
And Jeff, you still feel your connection to her as your patron, so you still feel a connection to know that she exists.
yeah, she hasn't been destroyed, but yeah.
And you still you still have that connection. She exists. She's still, you're still seemingly getting the benefits of her as a patron. So
Who knew that dead people can make human errors? Anyway.
No, I think going after Albedo is probably a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
So let's head out.
when you leave, where are you going specifically?
Do we need to get in touch with Washington and let him know what we're doing, or anything like that? Do we have any relationship with him that would require us to?
Yeah, the whole thing with Rubido and what that was all started by
Who is our
doing the
patron?
mission.
I guess it would be Franklin, if anybody, right?
Yeah, he gave us the bullets, or the bullet, but I don't know if we really had too much with him besides.
Franklin didn't give us the bullet.
No, Washington.
Oh.
So I guess we're kind of on our own. We don't have to check in with anybody before we.
I would say the Taylor person.
Well, the Taylor's on the British
Yeah.
area,
Yeah, and we need to get.
and we're in
out.
more of the. Yeah, we could probably go through Washington's camp on our way out wherever. And
Yeah.
because I thought we were quasi under his orders to help or rescue Rubido and Figueredo. I thought, if I'm not mistaken, he gave consent to let us go.
I don't particularly remember. I think what it was is we were at the Taylors, not with George Washington. Oh, no, you're right, because we were trying to figure out what to do with the Philosopher's Stone. And I do want to give that to Virginia Deer, so heading south, I think, would be...
Pretty sure Boston's north, isn't it? A little bit like northwest?
It is.
Yeah, Boston's north, yeah.
Maybe. I did want to know what that house in Boston is. I am curious. Anybody curious about an otherworldly presence? I say very pointedly, not looking at Graham. Am I just leading the party?
If that's where Albedo is, I think we need to remove him from the chessboard.
Well, I think.
Well,
John would be more interested in going and touching base with Virginia. It's like, if that was where Albedo was, it's like I would think that we might possibly intersect his course if he's. But yeah,
then let's do it.
Important.
And we do have that stone that I feel like is that Mary's carrying that is like on. It's just a matter of time. We're
The stone that I
question.
very much do not have at all. I don't have any stone. I don't know
Are
what
we
you're talking
discussing?
about.
Are we discussing all of this in front of Rubido? Because
No.
okay.
I would say to the group, we can go to Boston. There's something I need to look at there. We could try to find a town that is going to be massacred by albedo, or we could visit Virginia.
Well, if we can figure out how to prevent the massacre, we need to do that.
I don't know how to find a town that I've never seen before that could be any of the
No.
many settlements that have been made. However,
you-
I do know that he has been on Roanoke,
Well, then
and
that's
that's
south. That's Silverlock will want to go back.
Did I get an address in my vision for the house in Boston?
No,
No.
but you got a pretty clear look at it. You would know it if you saw it.
Yeah.
Let's go south. If that's the way where albedo, albedo is most likely, then let us try to see if we can find him. On the way, can I try to reform the special musket balls into different sizes?
you can really buy
Because the
some.
Pennsylvania rifle takes a smaller musket ball, you probably don't have enough material to make one for the larger musket.
So definitely
Um,
not for a pistol then either, because
I would say the Pennsylvania rifle ball is probably a little smaller than the pistol ball.
well, pistol
Okay.
balls would be bigger because they're 50 caliber.
Okay, in that
Then,
case, the
yeah.
Pennsylvania rifle ball would be the smallest,
Yeah.
and then musket, and then
So
pistol.
we've got one musket and one rifle.
Yes.
Okay.
You might be able to find some in New Jersey, since it's
Well, you could shave off some more of those pieces of the
Oh.
stone.
Yeah, before we leave New York, I want to get something to blend Rubido's hair into not bright red, matchstick red. Very pointedly matchstick red.
like I said, lamp black probably would work. Is the easiest, and or
Yeah.
ink or whatever. Yeah, it's
So we want to do the inverse of what happens when John takes a bath.
hey, I have at least once a year. Come on.
Do you need it or not?
Do you
Whether- yeah.
believe what is it? Are you? I think there was a myth going on in like small areas that like taking a bath will like take the spirit out of your body or something like that. Something along
Not
those lines.
really by this time.
Not by this time? Okay.
But you need to have that nice layer of beer grease and everything to keep the bugs off. So it's
There is some truth to that.
So you guys are heading to, I'm sorry,
South.
Boston, Roanoke,
Roanoke.
Washington, somewhere else.
well, we probably would go through Washington's camp before we go anywhere else. I would think,
Okay.
since we're right there.
And I would tell Graham, don't shoot him. But he also has a connection to his brother, who is very obviously not on our side.
Are you talking about me shooting Rubido?
Do not do that.
I wasn't planning to. I was planning to shoot Albedo and potentially Negredo.
Well, for now,
Long
I would
list of
definitely.
people I'm planning to shoot. He's not on it yet.
Not on the list.
Or
Yeah.
anymore.
I would
Just picturing that's how the conversation went.
I would probably tell Josiah, not in the presence of Rubido, but that Rubido does have a connection to his brother that is unconfirmed for distance, and any sensitive materials should not be shared with him as far as Patriot information. Not that they need me to clarify that, but I'm going to clarify that.
Like, don't share classified information in front of the guy who was on the other team until like 5 minutes ago.
Exactly. And there was something else I was gonna say. Yeah, I would tell Graham to save all of his bullets that are for non-human humans, for Philosopher's Stone humans. Save all of those bullets for Albedo, because he is very obviously trying to wake a demon god
Yes.
from the abyss.
We're in private, yes, and I look around for no one's listening too closely.
Yeah, you guys can be.
Well, yeah.
You have a shard of the Philosopher's Stone. Can you make me more bullets if it comes down to it?
That's an
I'm
interesting
not a
idea.
smith.
No, I can make the bullets. I know how to make bullets. But they put the dust into it, the rock. I just need to get it inside the lead, and then I can form it. I don't know if that's what they did.
I would highly recommend we talk to who's the silversmith?
Revere.
Revere about this.
Do you think silver will do damage to him too? I mean,
No, but I trust him with.
Yeah.
With
She's saying Revere knows how to make bullets at least.
And
Yeah.
Franklin would probably know even more, but
yeah.
okay, well,
I don't think you need this much stone, but I'm not against making more bullets if necessary.
make a cannon shot.
However, I would prefer finding the ones that are already in existence.
Well, we're leaving this area that they'll be in, I think.
The ranges are all over.
Yeah, but if they think that their mission is done, they might just use those bullets as normal bullets.
Unlikely.
Oh, you're probably right.
Especially since, well, to normal humans, this type of material would make one's life longer instead of shorter.
I think if they shot with them, it would still kill them.
I'm not willing to test it. Anyway, I think we're headed south. Or, yeah.
Well, like I said, probably through Washington's camp, but yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys can arrive in Washington's camp, and he, the camp is kind of on edge. They've probably seen the plumes of smoke. Rubido kind of pulls up the collar on his coat and kind of picks up a hat as he walks by, one that's just kind of been left sitting there, and puts it on.
To cover his blackened hair.
Oh, I didn't think you guys did the hair yet.
Oh.
I thought you were just talking about it because you hadn't gotten to a place.
Well,
Okay.
I'm no barber, but we can at least trim it.
Yeah, I mean, if he puts on the hat, yeah, if you cut off the bright red like ponytail coming out the back,
Of course,
probably,
the eyebrows and
like,
hair
yeah, if you,
complexion.
again, wearing the hat, but for the fact that his hair is quite long and isn't completely covered by the hat, yeah, if you cut off the ponytail,
Sunglasses aren't a thing now.
not yet.
Like I said, a little bit of lamp black or ashes on the eyebrows, and yeah, it's something
Anyway,
fairly simple we can do. Yeah.
I'm
gonna-
entirely.
Actually, sunglasses were invented in the 12th century.
Yeah, Benjamin
Probably
Franklin.
10,
Didn't you watch National
minutes
Treasure?
10 minutes after somebody invented the eyeglasses.
Yeah.
National
Yeah,
Treasure.
18th century.
Come on.
Yeah, I'm not sure those were historically accurate.
Shh.
But yeah, sunglasses would be a thing. They're just not that common.
It probably would make you stand out even more than red hair.
Yeah.
We're gonna get like a plague doctor mask and just put that on him.
That won't be conspicuous at all.
I was going to say, just put a little bit of soot on his face.
But anyway, you guys are in camp. As I said, he's grabbed a hat to try to hide.
Or have we discussed
Pulled up his
that?
collar, kind of tucked his hair in, put on a hat. He's doing his best to not stand out because he's heard you guys talking about how much his hair makes him stand out. He's trying. Out of all the sons of John D, he's probably been the least good at subtlety because, he's the guy with the bright red hair who likes to go into situations dual wielding pistols.
Walking around with a staff,
no.
that's sort of
It's almost like
low
he's a
charge.
human firecracker.
Yeah. But so yeah, you guys are in camp. If there's anything you want to do here.
I think Adrian wanted
Direct to-
bullets.
Yeah, I want to try to muster up some shot for the rifle.
Yeah, I'll say you can add some. Bullet. I don't make you guys count bullets unless they're special. Yeah, you have bullets for the rifle. There are some men in camp who have Pennsylvania rifles, so.
Why were they called Pennsylvania rifles? Because that's where they were made, or is that where they were first used, or?
Again, they were brought to Pennsylvania by German settlers, like back in
the day.
back when Pennsylvania was mostly German and Dutch.
Okay.
In Europe, they were called Jaeger rifles.
Okay.
Das
Because-
Jäger. Yeah, I don't have anything else specifically. I should erase my powder bomb keg now. Bye bye.
So,
But yeah, we just report in that we're successful. It's like
City is
minimal
burning.
damage to the city, but
Yeah.
so you go to report to Washington, and you find him, basically giving orders to a bunch of subordinates, and then they run off, and he sees you. What the hell happened in the city? We saw the smoke. Congress has specifically ordered us not to burn New York City, and
It wasn't us. There was a bit of a civilian upheaval and some redcoats got involved.
fortunately for the rain,
Yes. It was just very fortunate that it happened to rain.
it's like, and I try to say that with a straight face, and I know I can't.
I could roll bluff for you.
I mean, Washington is part of the order. He knows the supernatural is real. He just kind of takes it in stride.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
There was
hopefully
no-
Dr. Franklin can smooth things over with Congress.
It was very minimal.
Do we have like a damage report that we can give him from what we've seen, like how much is actually burned down versus singed? Because the map
yeah,
you showed us was just some
you guys
roofs.
can give him the information you have, and it actually wasn't as devastating as the regular New York fire because of that spell.
Mhm.
So good for you.
Hey, I have it. I was like, hey, wait, I have to go
You
on
didn't
there.
burn all of New York City, but the southern tip of Manhattan.
Yeah. I saw the map for burned New York on accident when I was looking up old New York
Mhm.
maps. And I was
Yep.
like, oh, so we're actually trying to prevent an actual historical event that
Yeah.
happens. I don't think we're going to be successful.
And if you noticed on that map, what is right in the center of the area that burned? Trinity Church.
So by starting a fire, we prevented a bigger fire.
I mean, by stopping them from detonating Rubidoux, you probably prevented a much worse incident.
Fair enough.
But yeah, it's not quite as much as was historically burned, but yeah, a good chunk of the southern tip of Manhattan is.
Of course, the British are going to report that the rebels have burned down.
Yes.
This great
and I'm hoping
portion.
Dr. Franklin can disabuse Congress of that belief without having to give too much detail about what actually happened. What are your plans? If you were heading back to Philadelphia, I would ask you to deliver the message directly to the good doctor, but
Well, it's
of
sort
course,
of on
if
the
you
way.
wanted to stay in New York and continue fighting, I certainly wouldn't turn you away.
Either Boston or south, but I believe south is where we're headed.
Well,
Though if
Philly's partially on the way, or not too far out of the way.
Well, it's up to you. If you wish to, if you're willing to carry this message, I would appreciate that. If, however, your destination lies elsewhere, I understand.
And not that I'm a big Franklin fan, but
Come on, you're his #1 stan.
so Boston is north, it's not on the way, unfortunately.
yeah, Boston, Massachusetts is up.
Yeah, Boston is north.
Meh.
We're around here.
So
Philly
you're
is here.
yeah, you're here. Boston is here.
It says Boston
Philly is
right here.
yep, and Roanoke is here.
It's further south, so
Could
Kind
we
of
like
kind of
go
on
to
the way, though.
Boston and take a ship down?
Sure.
Why couldn't we take one from New York?
Because I want to go to Boston.
she wants to go to Boston.
I want to see what's in that house.
Okay.
I'm entirely curious. Otherworldly beings in a house.
Washington also,
Your
as
reasons.
he's talking, pauses. He picks something up from his desk and he hands it to you. This came with other correspondence. It was marked for you, but it, for some reason, crossed my desk. If you guys look in the character handouts, in the letters, there's a new letter from Nathan Hale. It's dated a few days ago.
New letter from Nathan Hale. Okay.
One hunter having two. Do you think that's
That's the message from Nathan Hale. You've
Okay.
already seen that.
Yeah.
New letter.
Yeah.
Letter from. Okay.
new letter from? Okay, I see.
Oh, okay. I regret that I have but one life to give for my country.
Okay. Well.
They hanged him right away, so we have no
Yep.
chance for rescuing. Damn.
Man.
Well,
Alright.
we know that Albedo is not with John D currently. I don't think these bullets will do anything additional to him. I think we need to still take out Albedo.
The bullets could possibly take out John D because if his life has been extended by the stone, the bullets might cut
That
the
is true.
connection. But
Yeah, that's true.
I take it we also left Rubido like out.
Yeah, I'm presuming Rubido is like
Okay.
sitting in the camp somewhere, trying not very hard not to be noticed.
getting
Yeah,
something to eat, yeah, just
He wouldn't walk right into the commander's tent.
Yo, George.
Especially since you made a point of saying, let's not expose intel to the guy who was a bad guy up until 5 minutes ago. Yes, I'm assuming you guys would have not brought him into.
who has a neural, if I knew the word, connection to.
probably so. John would probably be staying out with him that way
Okay.
Yeah.
because it's like, yeah, I'm just not a people person, so yeah.
Mhm.
And that way he doesn't get.
Do
Less
we know
likely to
where
get
Nathan
past
Hale
it.
was when he died?
He was undercover in the British controlled areas of New York. That's
Okay, so he was in New York. Okay.
I want to still go after Albedo.
I agree. I think that's the wisest thing to do.
I agree.
I think that's what the general group wants.
You could go to Boston and meet us there.
I figure
be a
I
very
better keep
boring
an eye on
session if
all
I
of
had to
you.
keep splitting it between two halves of the party. But I'll do it, but
I don't really like splitting the party. It's
yeah.
No.
very.
Yeah, I don't think Mary would
I
fare
think there's
well.
a difference. Like splitting the party can be fine, but having you guys in completely different cities with 1700s speeds of transportation between you, I think that could get
Turn
Tepid
into
Harry.
2 campaigns real quick. Actually, could end the campaign real quick.
Yeah.
the party that finds albedo without the spellcaster in the party.
Or yeah.
There's a lot of ways that could end badly for most, if not all of you.
Yeah.
So
I did have a vision of all of your corpses. Let's not split the party.
all right. So it sounds like there's 3 possible options. Mary wants to go to Boston to investigate this house. Washington is trying to send you to Philadelphia to report to Congress. And then, obviously, Graham wants to go to Roanoke to try to take out albedo.
So, I think people are wanting to skip Boston because it's really not on the way. The lady who we met at Cape Cod, who was the singer, who said her sister drowned everyone, is she still there?
No.
No, did she leave?
Yeah,
After we
presumably she found peace.
Okay.
The Banshee.
because
And
I
when
was
she said sister, it was more like sister in the coven
I know.
sense.
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you meant. I was just hoping I could get a name.
You didn't really spend much time with her.
And it was
I
more of a
know.
spirit, so
Yeah.
if she's a
It
banshee,
was more like she was a banshee. She was trying to, they accused her of being a siren luring ships. She was actually a banshee trying to scare them off because the fishmen were the ones.
That I was just curious about that. I think we're heading to Pennsylvania to drop a letter off on our way to heading to Roanoke. In the meantime, I would like to keep an eye to see if I see any city squares that look like scenes for massacres to happen.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Are you expecting to find it before
I'm hoping.
it takes place?
I'm really
Hoping we
hoping.
wander into a town and be like, this is the one albedo's gonna kill. And he hasn't done it yet.
So you
That's
think
what
it's okay?
I'm
Yeah.
hoping. I don't know if that's actually, like roll a dice for statistics of the likelihood of that happening. But that's not going to stop her from.
Yeah, I mean, do you remember what you saw well enough that if you were in a town, it might be distinctive enough for you to remember?
Well, I don't have the skill photographic memory.
Okay.
I'd let her make an intelligence roll. I mean,
Okay.
I
We
think
have yeah.
seeing a grisly massacre might make a place memorable.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
and you might be able to use augury every few days or whatever to say, is he within X number of miles from you?
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if he's to the south.
I actually, I would have wanted to. Oh yeah, to figure out a location for albedo. Where is Roanoke? It's North Carolina?
Yeah. Right between North Carolina and Virginia.
Okay. Could I ask the spirits if he's in North Carolina right now?
Go ahead. It's still within the time period that there's going to be now a -4 penalty because this is a.
Oh. Some of the spirits were dead before North Carolina was a thing. I got it. So I have it at a -2.
No, I mean because there's a penalty every subsequent question.
Got it.
So you get the dog bonus, but there's now a -4 because this is your third question in a short period of time.
But it'll be a -2 because of the dog bonus.
Yes.
Okay. Where is my map? Oh, here it is. And I'm not by the church anymore, so sadness.
No, he's not there.
I said North Carolina, right?
You did.
Yeah, okay. Well, he's not in North Carolina.
How could he have gotten that far anyways? Shouldn't we have asked for like the next state down, like Pennsylvania or Delaware?
Well, Roanoke's in North Carolina, right?
Right, but what
Yeah.
Adrian's pointing out is that
'Cause
since
he-
you had your first vision, you probably wouldn't have had time to get there. Like your visions are of the future.
Well,
Oh,
there's 13 colonies. How long can you keep going?
It's Virginia next.
is Albedo in Virginia with a -4 penalty. I don't know. I don't think he's in Virginia.
And
The
the spirits are.
The spirits are ignoring you.
Yeah, they're like, oh, birds burned buildings.
In a couple days, you can try again, and maybe they'll notice you. But
Yeah.
for now,
We'll see. Wait, so okay. But Roanoke is part of North Carolina.
Yep.
yeah. But again, like Adrian pointed out, since you had your first vision, he might not have had time to get that far south. Because your vision is of the future. From
Question.
when
Well,
Would boating to Roanoke be faster than?
yes, that's why boats exist.
30 sailing at night only
I have
type
some
ships in
monies
the area.
that I need to get rid of. Can we charter a ship from New York?
Does anyone have bureaucracy?
I believe so. For whatever reason, I do.
Go ahead and make a bureaucracy roll.
Can I put 2 style points into it?
Sure.
This is a matter of importance. I need to speak with the manager.
the harbor master.
The Colonial Army does have ships. Washington would basically agree to get you on a Patriot-aligned smuggler ship that can get you down that way.
I would be definitely willing to pay for that. How much would that cost, out of curiosity?
I would need to do some.
I don't really
I
have
would-
a sense for how well.
Is there any
£2,
chance?
5 shillings is a month's income.
Yeah. I mean, it is a smuggler ship. So it's
So if I paid £50 to get us there,
You have
that would
50
be, that
pounds.
would be more than enough. You can pay
Cool.
that, and the smugglers are like, she's agreeing to it. She's agreeing to it. I can't believe she's freaking agreeing to it.
part of it I think would be Washington's compensation for getting it.
Yeah.
So it might be less than that after Washington's cut.
Washington doesn't necessarily take a cut. He's the commander in chief.
Okay.
And also, he's not really the kind of guy that takes bribes. No,
Well,
Graham convinced him this is important. He lets you get in contact with Patriot-aligned smugglers who might be able to
I
take
think
it then.
so £50 is like overkill, but
Yeah.
It's definitely. I would say 20 pounds. You're probably still overpaying, but you
20
likely
pounds?
would- yeah,
Should I play 25 instead?
sure.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay,
not
cool.
gonna-
Let's go 25.
Yeah,
So-
considering you're basically like, we don't want to make any stops. We want to get right to this island. F
Yeah.
your cargo.
So, so like £1, 10 shillings. That's like
£2,
what, like,
5
oh,
shillings
is
is
that
a
like a
month's
week?
income.
okay. So that's bi-weekly. So you're offering to
Yeah.
basically pay like 2 years worth of income for this boat ride at 50
Well,
pounds.
Keep in mind that's income for someone with a wealth 0. Like that's like not your income. That's like your extra income after all of your expenses and stuff. It's, like it's your play money. It's what you have left to do fun things with.
It
Okay.
was some shillings that were lying on a desk unneeded.
Liberated.
That's the treasure you stole in the Caribbean. You're finally spending it.
I'm only spending some of it.
It's like I stole way more than this.
Is there any familiar faces on the vessel? Any vampiric looking
It is
people?
not, it is not Carlisle.
Okay.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh.
Sometimes you end up having to work with people you haven't previously met.
Hmm.
And that's where we're going to end. I'll say next week you guys can.
Yeah. Finding out he wasn't actually in Carolina yet kind of made like a big like switch in what my plans were.
No,
So
no.
next week, chapter 40. Roanoke Revisited.
Cool.
That's actually a really good idea, is doing premonitions and then asking the spirits to confirm whether things have happened yet or not. Note to self.
Note to self. This works.
Yeah.
And now I'm just thinking cinema sins. Ding, this works.
I haven't seen those videos in a long time. Should go binge some CinemaSins.
Yes, so next week, Roanoke Revisited. For this week, everyone gets a participation point and a knowledge point. You guys get a lot of exposition.
Okay. I'm one away from what I need.
Um,
Hmm. Okay.